Welcome to the first episode of our Ouija board series, How to Run a Safe Session. You see all these crazy stories on the internet and all these videos on YouTube about people getting possessed just by running one session, and we don't want that to happen to you. So here's a couple of tips and tricks that I've figured out from my own experiences as well as asking around to keep you from having the devil in your home. Well, at least they say it's the devil in your home. My personal tip would be, if you are freaked out, if you are scared to run the session, don't run the session. Because if you're scared, you're freaked out, you're obviously going to be more vulnerable because you're going to be putting out all this energy of being afraid, and it's going to attract all the things that feed off of that energy. Another good tip is watch the people you're running the session with. If somebody's demeanor changes very drastically, if they go from having a great time to looking like that they are so afraid that they can't even deal with it, or they go completely stoic when they had a big old smile on, end the session. And we'll discuss how to end the session properly in our next video about charging the Ouija board and making your own. Yeah, we're getting into the setup stuff. Because I know you're like me, you're like, oh, I got this board and I'm ready to go. Me and my friends have thrown back some cold ones and it's time to do some Ouija board. Not a good idea. You wouldn't do an investigation loaded? Don't do a Ouija board session loaded. Some of the more metaphysical things that I've been informed about are things like burning sage, which is supposed to clear all the negativity out of the air. The trick with burning sage, as I'm told, is that all the smoke has to touch the board, the members, the area in which you are running the session to cleanse the negativity. You can do it before, during, and even after a session if that really makes you comfortable. Now let's say you're at your parents' house and you don't want them to think that you're doing drugs or trying to set their house on fire. Well, there's crystals that you can use, positively charged clear crystals. And the way you do these is you place them at the north, south, east, and west of your session and all the corners. And what it does is makes a protective barrier around your session. And it keeps bad things out. And if they do get in, it traps them in there so you can burn your sage or throw your holy water, whatever you need to do to get rid of whatever badness happens. And finally, that brings us to rose quartz crystals. People wear them to reflect negativity off of them. At least that's what I'm told. And you can also do the same thing as with the clear crystals by putting them on the corners of the board or corners of the room. You can wear them as a necklace. They sell them all over the place. We'll actually put some links for all the metaphysical stuff in the description below. Now, the cool thing about rose quartz is, from what I understand, is that if you feel like your rose quartz is tainted, like there's too much evil in it or some malevolence attached to it, if you take it to a clear stream and let the water run over it until you feel the evil lift, it's supposed to cleanse the crystal for all intents and purposes. So these are a couple of tips and tricks that I've figured out and been informed on. If I missed anything, please leave it in the comment section below. Leave a video response. As always, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed so you can see all these Ouija videos we're going to be coming out with over the next couple months. There'll be a new one every Saturday, and we're just getting into the juicy stuff. Next Saturday will be all about building your own board and charging it as well so that you can get the best results that you possibly can. So it's Tyler Brown for the King of Paranormal. You guys have a good night and you be safe.